crafty friends, it's Jess from jesscrafts.com, and today I am sharing a new one-sheet wonder. Well, I guess kind of new. I shared a Michael's 6x6 paper pad video, and in that video I shared the template number 20 that I'm going to be working on today. But I know there can be some people who maybe don't want to watch a whole 6x6 paper pad tutorial, and they're just looking for this one sheet wonder idea. So here is my shorter, more focused video just on that. I will be probably sharing this in July, so you can kind of think of it as a Christmas in July. I'm going to be creating a holiday themed card because it's important to work ahead on some of those things for me as I donate my cards, or I donate a lot of my cards, and therefore having them a couple of months in advance is really helpful to the organizations so that they can distribute them around the holiday season. And if you want more resources about donating your cards, there's a link in the video description to share places you can donate your cards and jokes you can put on the inside of your cards. So this template creates 3 cards from one 6x6 piece of paper. And I actually, that's a lot of cards. So if you're really trying to use up paper fast, this one maybe is a little slower, but it's a very, very simple design and works well with even directional paper. So if you have a patterned paper that like there's a clear top and bottom, like words or something of that nature, it works really well. Today, I happen to be using a pattern that doesn't have a direction, but just something to keep in mind. You're basically going to cut 3 3x3 squares and then 3" by 1/2" strips. Now, you don't need to pay attention to those measurements because in the video description, there's a link to my blog. You download this PDF. It tells you exactly how to cut the paper and what size mats you need, and then it shows you my suggestion for a sketch. I do think, like in the case of this particular sketch, it could work well horizontal or vertical. I'm showing it vertical because that kind of fits better in the PDF. But also, I think if you wanted, you could take the 2 strips and instead of putting them on the top and bottom or side and side, you could put them together and have like 2 strips along the bottom, especially if you were going to add your sentiment onto one of them. That might work well. So definitely feel free to kind of mix it up and add what you like, but on the blog, there's the measurements. You don't need to think too much about that. You can print it off. I'm going to be combining this paper, which happens to be a Hobby Lobby pad. It's single-sided. I think, again, this is a great single-sided design, this template. And I'm going to be combining it with the Lawn Fawn Winter Dragon. I've used the Winter Dragon in a video in the past. It's a very small, economical stamp set, but really cute. And I like that its sentiment is a little bit more neutral. The sentiment is have a very magical holiday season, but I left the season off. You can, I cut the stamp to do that. But you could also mix it up and use that have a very magical, and you can, find another birthday sentiment or something in your stash if you wanted, like for a winter birthday or something like that. I am going to stamp my sentiment directly onto my pattern paper because my pattern paper is relatively simple and soft colors. The gray on white here, I think the sentiment stands out enough. But one of the things that I was thinking with this design is that you could stamp it directly onto those strips, and you could also add a banner across that 3x3 square. I'm going to be showing you my simple Copic coloring of this dragon image. I am working on Nina 80-pound cardstock. I recently have started trying to use that a bit more because I do find there is a difference in blending. And as someone who colors a lot, the paper can be pricey. But it also, because it blends more quickly and smoothly, I feel like I'm enjoying coloring more. So I might find myself switching over and splurging a little bit on my coloring cardstock. But all the rest of my cardstock is Michael's Recollections, the real, like the 110 pounds, so it's good quality and it's thick, but it's not as pricey as some other cardstock. I'm using B282624. My basic design here, my basic shading is that I'm going to be putting the shadows on the back of the dragon, so along his head and then on his back where it meets his wings and his spikes. Then I will blend it out to the lightest color, and I will take the darkest marker and go back and just add a little bit of dots. I like the dots on reptiles in particular, or anything that has like more of a rough skin. I don't like it as much on furry animals personally, but I mean, I see a lot of people do similar things. Looks really cute. Just like I've done it on rhinos in the past because again, they have that sort of leathery textured skin. And so the same thing here, putting those dots just to kind of like hint at the texture of their skin. Then using BG 07 and 05 to add some details. I wanted to keep the entire dragon in blue colors because I thought that would really help him to pop off of the background without looking explicitly Christmassy, because in the past I've colored him red and green and I wanted this to stay a really neutral card. So I went with some winter blues and mixing those BGs in with the Bs for a bit of extra contrast. Then I'm ready to assemble my cards. One of the things I also think that even though you're getting 3 cards, so you're making more cards, it is a quick design because all of your mats are also 3 1/4. So you could cut a 3 1/4 strip of cardstock, and then, for the thin strips, it's 3/4 of an inch, and for the big square, it's by 3 1/4. But because you're not making too many extra measurements, it's kind of standardized a little bit more with that similar width, and then the 2 strips being the same size. It does work up really fast. So I do think it might be a good design, even if you are trying to quickly use a pattern paper. Also, that 3x3 square does show off a good chunk of the paper. So if you have a little bit more of a bold or special pattern paper, it works great. So that is it for my card today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in more craft tutorials, including one-sheet wonders or ways to use pattern paper, please subscribe to my channel. I will leave you links in the video description below to the products that I can find, as well as to the blog post so you can download your PDF and some other videos here for you to check out. Have an awesome day. Bye.